Hi, welcome back, Richard Painter. Right, today I thought I'd show you something a bit different. We've got a Range Rover Evoque. Range Rover Evoque. Hasn't been particularly looked after. It's for one of my trade customers. So we're not stripping it to death or anything like that. We're just try and keep it as labour low as possible. Everybody wants to keep the cost as best as possible, so that's basically what that entails. There is some things that we do anyway regardless. Excuse me. Ooh, still very early, haven't had that important coffee yet. So I'll just show you around the vehicle. So we'll show you what we're doing, and then we'll see if we can incorporate what actually we are doing throughout. How we're going to fix it is what I'm getting at. So there's the. So we've got that bump corner. You can see it. You can see anyway. The look at the state of the wheels. But I don't know why. But I mean, this one hasn't been looked after at all. It's not that old either. So all we're going to do with that is repair that little ding there, little tiny thing. So we could probably lose that in there. That's nice and tight, that's easy, and just puff that along there. Just do a little blowing along here. Right, around this side, this one's a bit more interesting. So we've got all these scratches. I'll show it up on camera, alright. There's chips and everything all the way down the side. So what we've opted to do is sand out all them scratches. There's a little tiny ding in there as well. We'll sort that out. And then we're going to repair priming that door and then blend both the rear quarter and the wing. The rear quarter on these is big. It's only a 3-door. So again, what we've done is for us to strip out that wing mirror properly and refit, you could be between 20 minutes and an hour. If I add that on, the trade customers are generally not that interested in stuff like that. So any retail work we do, we always strip them anyway. That's in with the price, if you like, so then you can get all your edges nice and stuff like that. But trade generally work to obviously they want to make as much money as possible. We're trying to do a job and get paid for it, so we all try and compromise here and there. So anything that comes off very quickly will get off, hence that trim pops straight off. That one feels like it would break if I force it anymore, so I'm not going to force it. That one can stay. The door handle is one screw. Luckily on these you just unscrew it, comes straight out. All these bits of trim and stuff like that, these will all stay on. The back light will stay in. We'll just get masked up and then paint down the entire side and that bumper corner. Right, well, first things first, which is always the important thing, is definitely get a coffee because I'm still yawning. Excuse me. So we use I buy it by the gallon, but you sort of decant it, so it's water-based cleaner. Which is like a detergent, if you like. So something I always do before I do anything, just give everything a clean. One extra clean doesn't hurt, even if it's not needed and the car's clean. You don't know what's on there. There could be silicons which will ruin the paint. Sorry, my camera's not working. Silicons in there, dirt in there, tar, that type of thing. So always clean first. Just give it a wipe. I'll show you in a minute. So look at that, look. And that bumper looked clean. So something else as well. So if this was a retail job, there's a good chance the customer would want that textured piece doing at the bottom as well. If you can see that down there. And up the side there. So I can almost guarantee we would be doing that on a retail job. But with the trade job, just concentrate on the paint. Not everybody's like that, and sometimes they so if it's a really late model, they all have to be finished that a bit better anyway. So a couple of little bits, they've probably discounted their retail price, if you like, to compensate for a few little age-related marks around the side of it. Our job is to basically take care of the worst areas and just make sure it's nice and tidy. So when we take it back, it's nice and tidy. I reckon I said that twice anyway, didn't I? That's not good, is it? Told you I need that coffee. Right, we'll give this a white. While this is drying, again, ordinarily you'd be wiping that on, wiping that off. Look at the state of that. We'll fold that over now. Look. So we'll use a relatively clean piece. We'll wipe this side down. The reason we do it is, like I said, you don't know what's on there. Could be salts from the outside. There could be waxes, them car wash. You don't know what car washes it's been in. Again, and that car looked clean, didn't it? So just give that a quick wipe as well. So this one was outside last night, so I've spent about 15 minutes blowing it with the airline, trying to get rid of all the bloody water. So yeah, so while that's drying, I'm going to go and make a drink and change this GoPro battery, and then I'll grab some tools and we'll see if I can, well, you'll see in the video if I've managed to do it or not. I'm going to try and set this up so we can see. I'll just keep cutting in at different stages so you can see how we're doing it, what we're using and stuff like that, and take it from there. Might be quite a long video. I might do it in 2 parts. I can't imagine anybody would want to watch a whole hour of me doing a Range Rover, but you never know. So I might break it up in parts so we can see a bit more. Right, we'll be back soon. Right, that's quickly started. We've got somebody here now, so I have to be quick. So all I've done is put a 180 on, 180 grit. We've got, I'll just leave that there for a second. We've got some 240s, we've got some 320s and an interface pad, which I'll explain very shortly. I do have somebody here, so we'll have to go, and I'll be back in a minute. Right, back again. I still haven't changed our battery either. So what we're going to do, I don't know if you can see me or not, whether I'm too close. So what we're going to do is try and sand these out with a DA, see what's left. Looks like a scary face. It's Halloween, isn't it? I would recommend using the extraction as well. It's very, very close to my face. But somebody else is using it, so I can't use it. So we just need to get on. So we're just going to get on. Right, I'll come back when we've done that and have a catch up. Bye for now. So back again, just mixing the filler up now. Going to need a little bit in that bumper. So we are using, I will show you in a second, just getting this mixed. We are using a Pacific plastic filler, hence we're filling up plastic. So we don't need a lot, it's very, very minor. Like I said, we normally try and get rid of just a couple of little deep areas in there. Like so. Hopefully you can see what I'm trying to achieve there. A little bit up there. Again, very minor. I will take that off in a second. Probably want a little bit more there actually. Bridge that out a little bit. And then we needed a little bit over here, didn't we? A little bit there. A little bit, just making sure we get in all them little grooves. And that's it, we'll let that go off and I'm going to go and drink my coffee. Right, back again. Well, it just carries on for you anyway, I don't know why I say that, but been a very, very long day. So the Range Rover I started this morning, we're now 4 o'clock and I am about ready to paint it now. So everything in between has been a bit of a blur, very, very busy. So it's kind of a bit annoying really. So I'll turn around and I'll show you what we've done. Booth is running. So you have to bear with me with that. But we're all masked now. So I've masked the mirror backwards. Gives me more room. What you don't want to do is be hitting it. Dear me. What you don't want to be doing is hitting it with the top of the gun or anything like that. That just gives me a bit more room. If we was doing a retail job, we'd have taken that off and it wouldn't have been in the way anyway, but just trying to get it done quick. So all the scratches were sanded out. We've just used the Pro XL again. There's no repair, there's no dent or anything once we'd sanded everything out. So this side, we just used the Pro XL. This is shade 6. So this is quite a dark grey. So for doing this colour, which is chorus grey, just makes life loads easier. I've got hardly any coverage to worry about. I use less paint. Granted, they cost money, but it saves me money down the road. So you can see there, so what we'll do now, I haven't got my case with me, and I haven't quite figured out the music thing yet, so I'll just cut in through base coat and clear coat stage so you can see when we're done. Right, back in a minute. So I've mixed my clear, I've let this flash off, there we go. Sorry, I'm kicking something there now. Let this flash off, so now it's dry, we can tackle off it again. Just make sure there's no dust on it. I don't know if it'll show up on the camera or not. You can sometimes see a couple of extra sparkly bits. Sometimes that's dry paint. Because we're flicking it about, blending it, we're not stopping on a dead edge. you can end up with bits of dry paint here and there. So we just tackle off it, get rid of all that, because we want the clear coat as clean as possible. Nobody wants to be flattening and polishing, it's very boring. So any de-nibbing, that's all it wants to be, which is why we try and keep it as clean as we possibly can. So we'll just give this a wipe. That's just the top bit, so it's not dirt, it purely is, well, we call it dead paint if you like. So it's just where we've flicked the gun round as we've painted, and it's dried on the panel above kind of where we need. So that's the rear quarter. Got a door to do. One thing to remember is, especially when using water anyway, make sure it's dry before you do this. That can just open up a whole world of hurt for you. It is not nice. You have to wait for them to dry, try and sand it back, because you can't just paint over that. Try and sand it back. I'm hoping you can actually see me. That's better, that's got that. Beautiful. See what I mean? It's getting dirtier and dirtier. Also, while we're doing this, if there's anything, any bits in the paint or anything like that, there shouldn't be, but if there is anything, a flies decided to come and see you just when you, in fact there is one in here. You don't see a fly for weeks, you start painting, it appears. It's like they wait outside for you. They think, oh, he's painting, let's send him in there. Just to be annoying. So what I tend to do is, when you got some clear coat and you know where the fly is, wind your gun in so it's like a jet and try and shoot it with a bit of clear coat. Stop it dead in its tracks. And then once we've done that, we can carry on as we were. Just remember to unwind your gun back open to a fan. You do not want to make that mistake. That'll ruin a good job. Right, I'm going to put my mask on, put some clear coat on. I'm just going to try and pop you in the top corner there. I'll see how it looks. As long as it looks alright, I'll leave it in. It's a bit difficult to tell really. Right, so bear with me. roof now. I don't know if you saw any of that or not, but we'll find out, won't we? So that's the first layer, so we're going to let that flash for about 10-15 minutes, just until it's just gone past tacky stage. That's how I like it. And then we can really cake on the next layer, get it nice and thick and glossy. Yeah, we'll get that done. I'll make a coffee actually. I'll be back. So all that talk about flies, I've just put a second coat on, by the way. All that talk about flies, we primed a wing earlier. I've just come out. So you couldn't write this stuff, could you? So, which is charming. Luckily it's only in primer, so it doesn't matter. We'll deal with that tomorrow when it's properly dry. But how rude is that? This is exactly what I was saying. Right, so now we've done that. It's about end of the day as well. It's incredibly windy. Oh god, the camera's well placed. Incredibly windy. And really crappy weather, to be honest. So I'm going to try and fit you on here somewhere if possible, just while we wash this gun out, so we can see what we're doing. Oh yeah, brilliant. Right, back again. Right, I don't know what was going on there. So, that's a bit painful as well. Used, you like to have a little bit, but you just want to, because nobody wants to waste it. It's very, very expensive. So we do try, I don't know if you can see me or not there. There we go. Do try and mix exactly what we need and no more, equally. Turn them off now as well. So I'm just going to wash the gun, and then I'll walk you back in there and show you that. Just want to keep it clean. I don't know where the pipe cleaner's gone now. That's where it is. Right, and then that's that. So we'll just empty that quickly. There we go. Beautiful. Make sure it's nice and clean. Also for next time, and you don't want to leave anything clear coat, well the one we use has an hardener in it, so whether you're there or not, or washed it out or not, it will go off in that gun. And the last thing you want is picking out a load of clear coat. Picking out a load of clear coat from the end of your gun, and because of how much you pay for these guns in the first place, it can be kind of soul destroying, to be honest. Guarantee though, naturally it's not your fault. It's a customer would have rang, somebody needs something, somebody's rang up, got to pay a bill. Something would have happened and you just left your gun on the side. You completely forgot. Right, I always like to make sure there's some tiny little holes in there. Just want to make sure that they're all clear before I put it back on. Make sure it's tight, sorted. if anybody's interested, they're going to use DB1 for clear. I really like them. It's a bit controversial, the old gun market, if you like. Everybody has their own type of gun that they're into. There's no well, there is bad ones actually, but most guns will do what you need them to do. And the best one, all-rounder, if you like, that I like anyway, is the GTI Pro Lights. We've got there's a gold one with a 1.3 setups. I've got the Nebula because I think it's cool. A few other bits and pieces, but you can't fault them guns. They're just absolutely bulletproof. We use the starters and that. I don't know if you, for people that haven't seen the other video, we do use the starters. I keep that purely for the water base coat, if I haven't already said. That's all it ever does, is water base coat. It's very, very good for the silver. Now, I haven't got the DB1 for base, although I did want that, funny story. Without me even thinking about it, I got talked into the starter, and I demoed the DB1 base coat gun, just completely forgot. And then I'm like, oh yeah, go on then, I'll have that, because there was a good deal on it at the time. I'll have that, and then... But to be fair, it is a good gun and it does work, so we can't really moan too much. And I think it was about 100 quid cheaper at the time, so which was, we all like a bargain. So right, let's go and have a look at this Range Rover then. Let's get rid of it, get out of the paint room. The door's blown open as well. That's how windy it is in here. What I'm going to do is turn the booth off now. You might be able to hear the rain now. Right, let's go and have a look, see how we've got on. So this has had 2 coats now. We've given it a chance to sort of flow out. It's always good to give them a few minutes with a bit of heat, just get them flowed out. And, well, I think it looks nice anyway. So you can see, it's all nice and glossy and flat. As you can see, for anybody that was wondering, we got around that mirror cap perfectly fine. Luckily as well, the sheet's just gone a bit baggy as well, but that was right at the end. I think we're just, with a bit of pressure over the tape, just pulled the tape off. You see how this side's nice and tight, sheet wise. We like to keep it all nice and tight and out of the way. So you can see that's done now, nice and clean. Done a little blowing across here. You can't even see the transition now. So everybody's got their own way of doing their blow-ins. I've seen people, seen people do it loads and loads and loads of different ways. If it works, I would always argue that it's not a wrong. Everybody's got their own way of doing stuff, what they think's right, what works for them in their environment, what they're doing. Some of the smarter pair lads, they'll have a very small setup that works for them, and that's what they stick with, and it works. So if it's not broken, don't fix it type of thing. I've tried a few different fade outs. I've ended up on the Meeper one this time. It's called Loser Spray. I will show you that. None of this is free, by the way. I do actually pay for it. It's just all my stuff happens to be Meeper, my primers and everything. My clear coats, my base coat. I like to, and a lot of people are the same, if you can use one system throughout, you would think everything's designed to work with one another. So if I use a MIPA primer and a MIPA base coat, I expect there to be no problem. And if I put a MIPA clear coat over a MIPA base coat, I also expect there to be no problem. Now if I go mixing and matching primers, lacquers, base coats, I can't expect my paint company to stand up and, if there's a fault with anything down the road, you know, 6 months time, doing it this way, you kind of guarantee you've used the system. That's their system. We've used everything, even down to the fade out thinner. And I have tried various other ones. The Leckler one tend to give me like a spider web design, which is not your desired effect. So again, I don't know if I was using too much, too less. Just couldn't really get on with that. Yet a lot of people rave about it, saying it's amazing. So I'm not slagging it. It just didn't work for me in my environment. But you can see it's all nice now. It's all flowed out nice. Nice and important as well. Remember we tack clothed it. If you look how clean it's turned out, I don't know if you can see on the camera. Very, very clean. Hopefully it looks like that in the morning. Right, we'll go out now. Back in the workshop, I'll show you that MIPA. I've got all bar one light on as well, so if the lighting's a bit dodgy, that's why I'll come out here. You can see MIPA loser spray. Fade out thinner. That one for me, shake it really well. I would say that. Make sure you shake it really well. And it just works. Just brilliant. Oh yeah, I did. There's our little mate, we'll call him Dave. Everybody knows a Dave. We've got a Dave here. Right, and on that note, I'm going to go home. It's 5:15. It's incredibly windy and rainy and dark. Unfortunately the summer's not here anymore, which is a shame. And might be able to show you a bit more of this in the morning actually, won't I, when I pull it out. I'm talking like you're going to talk back, but obviously you're not, so I'll lob the handle in, we'll get it debagged and put outside. As long as it's not raining, we'll show it outside, see what it looks like. Right, yeah, don't forget to like, share, subscribe and all that wonderful stuff. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you're into. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.